So, a while ago, 𝗀cie𝗱𝗆𝗆, and a few others over at mo.cademy announced a tournament called Dojo Showdown. When I heard this announcement, I set out on a journey to create a team of some of the most skilled players in mo.cademy esports scene. It took me a very long time to find and recruit 5 extremely good players, but I persisted, and after some adjustments here and there, I want to proudly present our roster. The team name I picked, 𝗲𝗵𝗽𝗀𝗆, means ultimate in Greek, because the team was my ultimate creation. Team 𝗲𝗵𝗽𝗀 was made up of 𝗵𝗵𝗃, a Dojo World Cup quarter-finalist, as well as Nino and Arino from Team Germany. Not only that, but we also had 𝗴𝗿𝗻𝗽𝗀, a Dojo World Cup champion, coaching us, and a mo.cademy prodigy named 𝗀cie𝗱𝗆𝗆. What made this event unique is that the members of the server could vote on what rules to use for the competition. So let's quickly go over everything that was selected. First off, we have to talk about the 157 rule. You see, when entering a dojo, some players may spawn in up to 2 seconds later than others. This obviously puts them at a massive disadvantage. The 157 rule combats this by requiring you to wait until the clock hits 1 minute and 57 seconds. Another measure taken to make the competition more interesting was adding the uniqueness rule. The rule stated that there could only be a maximum of 3 repeated builds in the top 8 submitted times. To further level the playing field, all RNG passives are banned, which means that you cannot use any of these unstable gadgets or the chimkins. Not long after the tournament began, the prize pool reached a whopping $215, thanks to some very generous donors. As a result, many people seized the opportunity to join the tournament with their teams of 4 to 6 players, with the first round featuring a total of 12 squads. In this video, I will take you through the journey my team and I set out on to reach the tournament finals. Sit back, relax, and find out if our team ended up claiming the victorious spot, because the competition was fierce. The first round took place on the 6th of February. The dojo of choice, Dethronement, seems pretty simple at first, as you're battling just a single Princess Ladybug, but below the surface, there's a lot more min-maxing and luck required. You see, the boss of this dojo can push you away, bomb you, or even summon guards. And it's these fellas who cause the most problems. Not only can they knock you back, wasting pretty much the whole run, but they're also immune to non-physical attacks, which makes them impossible to get rid of. Most teams utilized the Monster Slugger and Hornbow to consistently deal damage to both Princess Ladybug and her guards. Our team, on the other hand, said, why would we need spread damage, and went with Jaded Blades instead. This questionable but effective strategy secured our team the 2nd place in round 1. Right now would be a good time to talk about our competition. With there being so many teams in the tournament, there were bound to be some big names included. And let me tell you, there were a bunch. For example, Stu, the 5th best Rift player and a semi-finalist of the Dojo World Cup over at Randoms. We also saw 2 French Dojo World Cup competitors, School and Doko, return to take their shot at winning the tournament. Nabi, Preda and Blasters joined forces to form Team Oblivion. 2 finalists of the Dojo World Cup, Sanraku and Initial Heretic, partnered with 𝗀𝗃 from EU Blue to try and secure that top 1 spot. But the team we are most scared of by far was Otop's Kittens, made up of the best Rift player of all time, 𝗀𝗏𝗏, and his teammate 𝗏_𝗏𝗏𝗏, who's also the 4th best Rifter. There was also 𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏, who along with 𝗁𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏𝗏 also competed in the Dojo World Cup a while back. Alright then, with that, let's get right into round 2. In this round, the winning teams could decide which dojo they wanted to play next. The higher their placement, the more their votes mattered. This time, the dojo picked was Heavy Barrage. Now you might think, it's really just a few plants, it's not that deep. But do to be wrong. As a matter of fact, I consider it to be the most annoying dojo of the entire tournament. In this dojo, you're met with 4 groups of toxic blooms, who, for some reason, won't stop bombing you. They're fairly easy to kill, but you have to get really lucky with when and where said flowers are going to shoot. From this round on, an absolute GOAT by the name of 𝗁𝗃𝗃 joined our team, and together with him, our strategy drastically improved. Despite that, the second round was extremely close, with our team winning the top 1 spot by just 44 milliseconds. Even though we just won, Otop's Kittens were very close behind, so we weren't in the clear yet. If you're enjoying the video so far, I'd just quickly want to remind you to like and subscribe. These videos take a long time for me to make, and it would mean the world to me if you could support what I'm doing. Without further ado, let's get right into round 3. The dojo of choice for this round was Boss Beat. This is an absolute classic from the first chapter, and no wonder, because it's very enjoyable. After hopping into the dojo, you're faced with one smasher and 2 of his juggler sidekicks. Similarly to the first round, there were 2 ways to go about beating it the fastest. Firstly, you could use a spread damage weapon like Hornbow or Techno Fists to hit all 3 bosses. This is an alright strategy, but after both of the jugglers die, you waste a lot of time finishing the smasher. This is why, yet again, we run Jaded Blades. This strategy helped us achieve an impressive average time of 17.138 seconds, which earned us the first place for the second consecutive time. If you were keeping track of the rounds, you might have already realized that this is the last round before the grand final. So then, let's introduce our opponents for the top 1 spot. In the first corner, we have Team Oblivion. They went under our radar, placing 4th and 6th in the first 2 rounds, but they absolutely smashed round 3, placing 3rd and qualifying them for the last round. They're definitely a force to be reckoned with. In another corner, we can see Otop's Kittens. From the very start of the tournament, this was the team we were most worried about. They placed 1st at the beginning of the tournament and followed it up by 2 second-placed finishes. This is going to be a very difficult battle for the victory, so let's get right into it. The dojo for the last round was picked through bans. What that means is teams could vote for the dojo they want to play the least. Because our team placed 1st in the last round, we got access to the most bans. In the end, Catch Me If You Can received the fewest bans and therefore was picked. The dojo of choice is notorious for having tons of frost stompers swarming you from all sides. To achieve the fastest time, you have to pull in all 8 groups of monsters and hopefully kill them as soon as possible. Most of the strategies boil down to whistling all stompers onto yourself, then using various weapons killing the swarm. While this strategy sounds simple, it requires by far the most luck out of all dojos we've played so far because of the whistle RNG. Over the last weekend of February, all of the teams put in tons of effort into min-maxing, strategizing, and speedrunning this single dojo. After 2 days of trials and tribulations, the time was high for all teams to submit their runs. After all that's done, I present the podium. In 3rd place was Team Oblivion. The 2nd place went to our team, Omega. Lastly, the winner of the whole competition was Otop's Kittens. Although we haven't won the dojo showdown after coming so close to the finish line, I'm personally not mad whatsoever. The players over at Otop's Kittens have put in countless hours grinding dojos this month and were totally deserving of the victory. Anyways, that would be pretty much it for the video. Thank you for watching, and this might not be the last you ever see of Team Omega.